Hi, Atharva. How's it going?
Hi Soham, very good. How are you?
I'm doing good too. So today let's discuss sentimental value and what are your thoughts behind it. So do
Yeah,
you want to
so
start?
yeah, I can start. I think just as an introduction for the viewers, we can start by describing or just talking a little bit about what the film is. It's a film by Joachim Trier, and he's also the director of films like The Worst Person in the World. And this again is a different take on family and a very nice character-driven film. It is, for me, it was a film mostly about um, two daughters trying to, or and their father trying to rekindle their relationship after a long, long time, and all the intricacies that are there during that time, also coupled with a very well-designed plot. So yeah,
Right.
we can probably start with our thoughts.
Sure, yeah.
Is there anything that
So
you would like to add about the plot?
I think you pretty much summarized it. It's a film about uh, father and his two daughters and how they have been separated during during the during the youth of the daughters. And now he's back into their lives and he's trying to uh, get this relationship going again, right? And the difficulty that he faces during to do so, right? I
Right.
think that pretty much summarizes it. And I think the main character, Nora Borg, right?
Yeah.
She has her own kind of demons and then how she is fighting it. So yeah, it's a really beautiful film.
Yeah. I think it was witnessing the film, it felt so real because there was no actual spice in it. So
Hmm.
every character was very, very mature.
Hmm.
And normally it is pretty rare to see that in a film that all characters, there's no good or bad. It's just people, and every single viewpoint is so beautifully expressed.
Hmm.
Was there anyone's character you related with the most?
I wouldn't say I related with anyone's character, but uh, one of the things I liked about the film is in this beginning, right? You
Hmm.
really start to you really start to sympathize with the daughter, Nora,
Hmm.
right? But towards the first half, right? There's a sequence where the backstory of his father is shown, right?
Yeah,
And then you also try to understand his point of view. So that was really well put. And then
definitely.
it gets more complex after that, I would say so. Because before that, you can easily blame the father, but
Hmm.
after that, it becomes a bit complex, like you can't really blame him because he also had like a rough childhood, right?
Right.
Yeah. So,
I think as a film progresses, you see a lot of hints which are being dropped about
hmm
the father. It's not
hmm
like an actual portrayal of anything that has happened, but you sort of see glimpses here and there about his childhood, and yeah, I mean that adds to the complexity of the story quite a bit, especially the scenes about the second daughter when she's looking at his mother's files and she
hmm
finds out she was in prison, and
Yeah,
all of the memories attached to it.
correct.
So that was pretty
Yeah.
shocking to see, but
hmm
also it explained the dad's character quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. I think you meant to say her granddaughter, grandmother.
Oh yeah,
Like,
sorry,
yeah,
grandma. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I think I get the point. Yeah. Uh, and this, like, the entire plot is about the father trying to shoot a movie and
Hmm.
then trying to cast his own daughter in it. And that movie is supposedly about his mother, right? I
Yeah.
guess. And the I think we can discuss about the end towards the end of this video. But
Yeah.
In general, what are your thoughts about the father's character?
Oh yeah. I think um, every time like you see that character from the beginning to the end, and that character sort of gets built on quite a bit. Initially, I thought it was. I mean, I don't really remember the initial thoughts because that character is a pretty much a mysterious figure in the beginning, at least for me.
Hmm.
For others, they found that the character was portrayed in a certain light, and for me, it was just a mysterious character. But
Right.
as the film progressed, I thought that he did not just want to deliver something for the sake of art and that
Hmm.
people want to call his movies. He has something which is in his mind is pretty profound that he wants to deliver from the beginning.
Hmm.
Even when we see his dialogues with his daughter, you can see that he gets certain things in the first few minutes of noticing someone. So
Hmm.
he never
Interesting.
really completely watches his daughter's plays or any performances, but
Yeah.
he gets what his daughter wants to do, and
Yeah.
he absolutely is in line with
Hmm.
um, trying to understand, and he just knows what his daughter is facing. And I thought
Hmm.
that was a pretty interesting
Yeah.
thing to see on screen.
Yeah. I think that is true. And I also think that along with that, right, he's also burdened with like a guilt to leave his daughter
Yeah.
at a young age. Because you can see that like right in the first scene when he enters the house during
Hmm.
during his ex-wife's funeral sequence, right? He hides from the daughter when he first sees her,
Yeah.
right? Like he goes into some other room
Hmm.
and he doesn't show himself. It's just that his daughter, hears him through
Hmm.
the uh, pipe, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I think that guilt is also responsible for him to not show up for her plays, right?
Yeah.
Especially because like the profession that she's working in and the profession that he's working in is very close. Like he's a
Yeah.
director and she's a actress. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Also, what did you think about his films? Because we don't really get to see any of
yeah.
his films and what they actually are.
Uh-huh.
But even there are two moments in the film when you can sort of understand his um, perceptions about the film that he's making, and then
Uh-huh.
you can also see the first film that he made with with the other daughter. And
Right.
what did you think of that? Because when I watched it, I thought the you can only see the reactions of the people. You can never see the
Yeah,
film.
yeah. You can only see the last sequence, maybe. And then yeah, I think he probably would be definitely a really good director.
Hmm.
Uh because the famous actress Rachel Kemp, right? She also reaches out to him to
Yeah.
collaborate, right? And that was really interesting. So he probably is like a successful person, I would assume.
Yeah.
And uh, apart from that, I don't really know what other films he made. Like maybe I didn't pay attention, but I only got a glimpse of that single film, right? And of course, the final scene of the film that is
Oh yeah.
his final project, right?
Right. Can we discuss the first daughter, Nora, a little bit,
Sure,
and what
sure.
you thought of her
Yeah,
character?
yeah. So, first of all, I was surprised to find out that Nora is the eldest daughter among the two.
Hmm.
Right? Like
Hmm.
initially, I thought she is like the youngest one, but like during the scene where her sister comes to her home, right, towards the end, and she
Yeah.
tells her how her father has written the script for her, right, keeping her in mind and her being like the central piece of the movie.
Mm.
and they kind of hug each other, and then there's like an emotional dialogue where the younger daughter says that uh, I had you, so I felt safe, right? So we didn't have the same childhood.
Mm.
That was
Oh
really
yeah.
impactful, impactful dialogue, and that's when I actually it clicked me that she is like the
Oh yeah.
elder daughter. Nora is the elder daughter.
Yeah. So with Nora, I thought there were a couple of things that I actually want to discuss right now.
Mm-hmm,
So the first thing that I noticed was that their mother was a psychologist and a therapist.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So she used to have a lot of her practices in the house itself. And then I think because their mother was a psychologist and a therapist, um, both of these sisters grew up to be very, very self-aware
mm-hmm,
people. And you can also see that in some of her dialogues that when she acts, it is basically her trying to l- put herself into other people's shoes and feeling that to the fullest.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
There are some dialogues which go along those lines, and then
right.
um, I thought that character was also thinking of that as an escape because every time she's on the stage, every time she is acting, it feels like she can feel things, but these are not her own, so it is not her direct responsibility to deal with them because she doesn't really, she's aware of everything that is happening to her, but she doesn't really know how to deal with herself, even when she is with her uh, boyfriend or the character
Mm-hmm,
that she um, is in some relationship with.
mm-hmm,
She acknowledges that she has a lot of problems. But by the end of the film, I think because her dad writes such a film which is so close to her life,
mm-hmm,
especially with the suicide being
mm-hmm,
coincidental,
mm-hmm,
that I thought by the end of it, it is also like a chance for her to not only act, but
mm-hmm.
also sort of um, deal with herself on screen, and is probably an experience which not only builds their relationship uh, in a very different way. I mean, I don't think it completely
Yeah.
collapses everything from the past,
Mm-hmm.
but something that allows her to deal with herself.
Right, right. I think, yeah. So if we discuss the contrast between how her mother would have helped her versus how her father helped her, right? So
Hmm.
if her mother was there to, really help her, then she would have taken some counseling sessions and stuff like that. But I think what
Hmm.
the father did was actually showed her what would have happened if she
Yeah.
continued down that path. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And I think that probably worked best for her because then she realized like what she would be missing or what would
Hmm.
happen to others if, she continued down that path.
Right.
So that was really interesting how the father handled her, right?
Hmm. Definitely.
And yeah, um, let's talk about one question that I had was he keeps on telling everybody that this is a story about his mother, right? How his mother committed suicide. But then
Hmm.
towards the end, we get to know that this is actually meant to be a story for his daughter, right?
Yeah.
So now, what do you think? Did this happen with his mother, with Gustav Borg's mother,
Hmm.
or was this just like some fictional story he made up, right? That's my first question. And there are a few evidences to that as well, right? Like, for example, um, when he talks about the way she committed suicide by
Yeah.
hanging him, and then there's this IKEA stool, and
Oh
that
yeah.
there are a couple of conversations where when that stool is mentioned, right? the daughters laugh and stuff like that. So there are
Yeah.
these small hints that might suggest that the story is fake or made up.
Just made up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not, and because there's no one else to really witness this event apart from what we are shown, right? We don't really know if this really happened, right? So
Yeah.
what do you think of that?
Um, Honestly, that was one of the biggest mysteries of the film for me, and I think it is open to interpretation quite a
Right,
bit. But I don't. Yeah, but at least from what it seems like, it doesn't seem like that his mother tried to commit suicide.
right.
What
That's
did you think
something
of
I
it?
well, like there are two parts to it, right? I think she probably would have considering like her imprisonment and torture,
Hmm.
but then we also get this small hints that probably suggest that this story is fake,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, it's probably yeah. So if you want to if you want to know what I think, then I think this
Hmm.
is a fake story. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
he just made
Yeah.
it up,
Same.
right? It didn't happen. Maybe some parts of it would have happened, but the way that he describes it, right? I don't think it
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also one subplot where he wants to hire his old friend for the director of photography,
Oh
Peter,
yeah.
I believe his name is.
Yeah.
And then he goes to visit him, and then
He is
I
just
think the film
completely.
also, yeah, yeah, he's like alone and stuff, like, and he is probably what Borg would be if like he doesn't stay in contact with family. I think so because he seems
Hmm.
slightly older than him, right? And
Right.
we see father or Gustav Borg to slide down that path. Like he is an alcoholic and he is lonely and he
Right.
drinks at night, right? And Peter, I don't know, the the stage in which he was set up, right? It seemed like if the
Oh yeah.
father went down the path that he is going down, then he would end up like
It
Peter.
would. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So and plus they have also kind of teased the way how these big production companies
Mm-hmm.
want things done in their own way. Like,
Yeah.
for example, they don't want to
Yeah.
probably hire Peter as the director of photography, right? So that is kind of interesting, right? That was like a side.
Yeah, that was a side dig at
Yeah.
these big companies. Also,
The, Mhm. Go ahead.
honestly, looking at the film, I did not really understand the what Rachel's role in the whole thing was. I'm still trying to process that because she isn't a character who's dumb. She
Mhm,
understands she
mhm,
wants to at least try and figure out what is happening in the film,
mhm,
and she wants to be well aware of what is going on in the story and understanding the character's motivations. And it is not like she is not smart enough to um, not like be unable to speculate everything.
mhm.
What did you think of that? What did you think the whole character meant?
Well, I think the father wanted to make this film because
Mm-hmm.
if even if his daughter didn't act in it, he would have probably he would have probably made the film anyways to so that she could see it, right? And she could
Right.
view herself in Rachel's shoes if Rachel would have been the main character.
Mm.
Now, I think Rachel was a really good actress, and
Yeah.
there are evidences of that, right? Like she is trying to study the character, and he's
Right.
all engrossed and stuff like that. But she at the towards the end, right? She also realizes that it's not meant for her, right? And this
Yeah.
is a very mature thing because if you get to work with one of your favorite directors, right? One of your
Yeah,
directors which you want to be working for since many years, and you give up the role, right? That really shows how
yeah, that
big of an actress she is.
absolutely. So initially, it might just be the financing part of it
Hmm.
that he wants his daughter to play in the film, the role in the film, because she might actually help with the financing.
Hmm.
She has played an actress in a TV series or something like that.
Hmm.
But then Netflix is producing the whole thing
Yeah.
because of Rachel and Rachel being a star. So probably it might just have been that financing was an issue.
Hmm. Right. Prob well,
But again, like
yeah,
that whole thing, it seems to
yeah.
be
I mean, I
re-
don't think that money was really a big factor
mhm.
for the film. Like he would have made it anyways.
Yeah.
But because maybe he also found some similarities between his daughter in terms of looks, I mean, eh,
Hmm.
his daughter Nora and Rachel.
But he's
Because
actively trying to make his
yeah,
Rachel look like his daughter.
yeah. I mean, of course, you won't get a exact replica, right? You would have to get a good actress and then convert that actress into
Hmm.
something like his daughter.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. And what do you think about the narrator? Like, who is the narrator according to you? Like, you see in the beginning as well as in between when when the story when the film tells us a story about the history, right?
Hmm.
Or the past of the house or the family. There's like a old woman who narrates.
Oh yeah.
Who do you think that narrator is?
Uh,
I I mean, I think that narrator can be either of his daughters when they grow up. They are just telling the story, right?
mm-hmm.
Because it's the past.
Hmm.
And it was like, or maybe it was also Nora, and the film was trying to tell us that after all this, she survived, right?
Yeah.
She, she was, she lived to be old and then probably lived a good life. That's what I thought of the narrator.
Yeah, probably. I just a wild thing out there. Probably that whole thing might be the sentimental value.
Right, right. And what do you think about the the color of the house, which changes toward the end? Did you notice that, by the way? Like initially it's red,
Yeah.
and after the renovation it becomes green, and the interior everything becomes white. So do you think that symbolizes something? The color going from like this multicolored old vintage look of the house to a white.
Yeah. I think that even though that showed that the whole color change showed something being reborn
Hmm.
because green is being reborn.
Hmm.
Everything was quite new.
Hmm.
So that, but I think that sentimental value still remains in what the house meant.
Right, right.
What did you
I
think?
think, yeah, I mean, it was more of like a rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really think of like what the colors meant,
Hmm.
but probably I would have to agree with you that it probably
Because
symbolizes.
the whole film's narrative is, even though we see the present in the film,
Hmm.
it is talking about the past quite a bit. Like we
Hmm.
spend a lot of the time of the
Hmm.
film just looking at the past and what happened in the past.
Right. And I also think that the house was also a character in the film. Like it was shown to be alive, especially in
Hmm.
the beginning, right? It showed like it seemed like it had feelings, and it was like the narrator mentioned, right? it had endured some cracks and stuff like that, maybe due
Yeah.
to the fights going on in the house. But then when no one was at home, right, it felt lonely. So that was
Oh
really
yeah.
beautiful.
That was very, very beautiful.
Yeah. All right, I think that's it from my side. Anything you want to talk about?
Uh, no, I think we've covered the end. We've covered characters. I think I like so one more thing, I love the role of the second daughter as well.
Yeah, yeah,
I think she plays a very well supporting character
that's true.
throughout the film.
That's true.
But
So, okay,
yeah, that's
cool.
it.
I
Cool.
think good discussion. Let's catch up soon again.
Yes.
Cool.
See you soon.
See you. Bye bye.